The wily waiter with the walrus with waxed lips. Oh, hi. Pika, we're rolling. We're supposed to have a musical intro. Well, I'm whining, police on my back, and my webs are swinging. Police on my back, there was a shooting. Police on my back, and the victim, well, he won't come back. Well, I've been running Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Daily content. What have I done? Haha, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern Daily. Celebrate. Holiday. Celebrate. Pre-recorded, but live before a studio audience of my stuffed animals from my Boston studios here. Grab a chair. Pull up a chair. Grab a cuppa. Whatever it is you're shoving under your nose today there, pal. I love talking about comic books. We love talking about comic books, floppies, monthly periodicals, trade paperbacks, superhero stories, and sequential art and beyond. I love it. Thank you so very much. Welcome once again to the Comics Coffee Table. Look at a fresh cuppa. Steam rising off of that. Thank you very much for tuning in today. We take a break from our busy days. We leave the real world's problems over there just for a few minutes in our busy day. And we embrace our escapism. We take our minds off our minds. And we talk about our hobbies. Comic books. The coffee table was always where my friends and I would meet up and shoot the breeze and have a good time hanging out with each other. There would always be a stack of books on the coffee table. There would always be a stack of music. My last CDs ever, compact discs. They open up like this and behold, look. Yeah, this was I've had this forever. That's a holy relic. Holy relic, Batman! I love movies. I do. I love movies. I've got movies. It looks like a video store out in my living room. I got so many movies. There would be a stack of video games. And there would always be a stack of comic books, too, that we were trying to get each other to read, you know? And this is a show that likes to make a big deal about our local comic book shops. I love my local comic book shop, and I like going there once a week. I like going on Wednesdays. It's quasi-religious, you know. It's ceremonial. It has myth. It has meaning. There's anticipation. It's got a social aspect. I can talk to the staff and other people there. And there's nothing in the world quite like a really good comic book shop style conversation. That's what we try to recreate here at our very own Comics Coffee Table, talking about comic books every day, U.S. Eastern, 3 p.m. Turn on those notifications. Hit that like button. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe. We're a growing channel. We'd love for you to stick around. Yeah, and the purpose of the show is about reboxing, reboarding, and rebagging my entire collection. Along the way, too, see, new bags, new boards, new box. I get all of these supplies. Boxes, acid-free boards, and snugs. Comic book bags. I get these, all of my supplies at the comic book shop, my LCS, my local comic book shop. I could be getting them on my online supply chain and getting a price break too, and free delivery, and but I'm agreeing to pay the retail markup at my LCS because it helps keep them open. It helps keep the lights on and the bills paid. And for these mom and pop brick and mortar shops to have made it out of lockdown 2020, God bless them. They need our patronage and our support. So yeah, I need supplies. Chances are you do too, huh? So why don't you get your ass to your local comic book shop today? And if you don't have an LCS, a local comic book shop, we can hook you up with one right here in the very show, in the description. Follow the links and hit up Yule Carter at Fantastic Comics of Berkeley, California. He can be your local comic book shop. For usual domestic and international postage rates apply, but you know that your business is with him if you choose to have some business. If you know, Fantastic Comics is a local comic book shop. Yeah. And so go for it. Totally. He'll hook you up. Give him your pull list. See what happens. You can pull my finger, but you can't pull my pull list, right? That's a fart joke. So yeah, I'm buying boxes, bags, boards at the LCS. I need them. We're going through a lot of supplies. Yeah, I think these short boxes, they cost $8 each, and I'm switching from these long boxes that I've had going on 2 decades now. See, this is the long box. This is called Mostly Marvel. See the corner's blown out on this one, and it's got stains. So this has done its job. It has protected. It's protected the contents that reside within, and they deserve to be retired. He's wearing the Spider-Man shirt. So, I mean, we started talking about Spider-Man yesterday. Excuse me. And I got on a roll. Yeah. Sometimes the show is, the show writes itself. We have a lo-fi charm here. Basically unscripted, unfiltered, unedited. I only recently found the pause button. And that was great because, I can go have a pee or something. That's maybe I can, wipe my nose and not show the world my magic nose goblins. You know what I mean? But we have show notes written by my executive producer. Copious amounts of show notes to, that we try to abide by. I'm the talent. And we have the lighting, cameraman, and boom mic operator, Drinka, and Canadian Bear, the studio audience. Pre-recorded, live before a studio audience of My Stuffed Animals. Ain't that cute? I say that to be cute. I really do. Indeed. Yeah. Make a list and scratch things off of them as well. Progress is a process. So far in this thing, too. I mean, we started out the year with this idea, and now we're coming full circle. Now I think we're entering Act 3 of this movie. If you believe in classical act structures, I do. I like typical movies. I do. What can I say? I'm a big movie fan. I really am. I like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. That's a 3-act story in those 3 movies. I'm weird because I like Part 3 better than Part 2. Part 2 is amazing and wonderful, but it missed it by that much with me. Why? Because Peter Parker is a wise ass. He can be. He would be making quips between every punch of Dr. Octopus. And the Sam Raimi Spider-Man didn't get a sense of humor, that snideness, until the black costume. I mean, I thought that was evident in 3. And I love the black costume. The black costume's special for me. I was 11 years old when Secret Wars came out, when the debut of the black costume, and I just was knocked over by it. I love it. I was in high school when the original Kraven's Last Hunt was released. Or middle school, actually. Yeah, I was in like probably 8th grade going into 9th grade. And I just love the black costume. And it's funny because I'm not the biggest Venom fan. I'm not a fan of Venom pretty much at all. I like the black costume on Spider-Man. I just do. I like Spider-Man's, alternates too. I mean, Spider-Man usually has pretty cool alternates. Let's just start with a stack. Let's just grab a stack of funnies. In no particular order. Wow, we have 5 of 5, 4 of 5. Spider-Men. This was hot stuff at its time. What's in here? You got 4, 3, 4, and 5 of 5. There was 1 and 2. They're in here somewhere. Ah. Whoop. A lot of Ultimate Comics in here. I love. Well, I liked Ultimate Spider-Man and Ultimate and Ultimates. So, but not so much Ultimate Fantastic Four, not so much Ultimate X-Men either. And I liked both of them, and I read them peripherally, yet they weren't like... Jeez, where is Spider-Man 1 and 2? I know I have them somewhere. Oh well, we'll come across them. We'll find them. I will find you. Spider-Man was one of the first crossovers between what we know. Marvel 616, that is the Earth that Spider-Man lives on, and all of our traditional heroes. The Ultimate Universe was 1601, and that was, where all the Ultimate stuff happened. And in the Ultimate world, if you know the Spider-Man Miles Morales story, he took over from Peter Parker, who died in his world, and that's Miles' story. Miles comes from the Ultimate Universe. Wow, where is it? Well, we'll come across it someday. Someday, the one you gave away will be the only one you're wishing for. Alright. Well, I'm sure it will pop up eventually. Wow. Yeah, huh? Alright. Well, all these old bags. Consolidate them. Here we go. But I like Ultimate Spider-Man a lot. And Ultimate Spider-Man started about, 2001? We'll find you someday. We will. It's around. I know they're around here somewhere. I know I've got 1 and 2 somewhere. Let's give you a bag. And this is, so it's, you'd know that, the info dump page. It's a web page. Isn't that funny? Aw. Webipedia. I think this kind of sets up story notes that gets followed through in the Spider-Man movies. Like, you have Mysterio, and so everything in capital letters takes place on Earth 616. Everything that happens in small case and lowercase is happening on the Ultimate world. And eventually, this Ultimate world gets destroyed, along with the Marvel 616 world, and it becomes one amalgamated world, Earth. It was kind of like Crisis on Infinite Earths on Marvel, reconciling two universes by merging them. So Miles Morales came over from his world. Old Man Logan, if you know who that is, came over from his world. Spider-Gwen, or Gwenpool, you know, all the associated Gwens of, you know. But this was one of the first universe hopping thing. This was a mini event. This was the first team up of Spider-Man Peter Parker with Miles Morales. This was kind of a big deal for Miles because he never had a team up with Peter in his world. He reluctantly took on the mantle of the Spider-Man. So in this, it's like he gets the blessing of Peter Parker, the Spider-Man, to be Spider-Man in his universe. Now that Miles Morales is in Marvel 616, there's that foolish, bait-worthy online struggle about Miles Morales is Miles Morales and Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and Miles Morales is Spider-Man in his universe. But when you're stuck here in Marvel 616, there is a Spider-Woman, there is a Spider-Girl, there is an Aranya, there is a Silk, but there's Spider-Man, and then there's... you know what? I think that Miles needs his own identity, his own code name, his own agency, one could say. I mean, people always counter with, well, you know, Sully, that there's the Flashes over at DC Comics, and then there are, you know, several thousand the Green Lanterns at DC Comics, and that's Legacy, and it works over there, and I think it's an unfair comparison because it's either fair if it works for you, and it's unfair if you find flaws in it. I'm like, yeah, I mean, there's that. I get it, especially more, you know, with the Flashes, because we accept that there are simultaneously at least 3 different Flashes, all with that same name. You know, that's Flash Jay Garrick of the Golden Age, Flash Barry Allen of the Silver Age, and then Flash Wally West of the Copper and Current Ages. And all 3 are still active. And then there are sidekick characters and other speedsters in that Flash family as well. And just so... But when it comes to Spider-Man, Spider-Man was always this only child, this loner. He does, you know, there was an inspiration for like-minded spider powers out there, sure. But I just think Miles deserves, you know, if he's not in his own universe, being the only Spider-Man, then, you know, Spider-Man gets to keep, you know, sorry, maybe it's union seniority, but Spider-Man gets to keep his code name. Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but Miles Morales, he's Afro-Latino. Did you know that Spider-Man is called Hombre Araña, you know, between Tierra del Fuego and the Rio Grande, this huge landmass of South America, all the way up to Mexico, which is Latino culture and Latino people and Latinas, you know? And so when Marvel gets reprinted, there were a lot of Marvel comics were reprinted in that market in South America, and he's known as Hombre Araña, you know, and I mean, Spider-Man, yeah, Spider Guy. And that's apparently in Hombre Araña was like Latinos were so PO'd about the death of Gwen Stacy, they never republished those, and they kept Gwen Stacy alive. So Hombre Araña pretty much is not just reprints, but it's like they have their own stories. And so I guess Hombre Araña is got to be set in his own universe in a way, because Gwen doesn't die at the hands of Green Goblin. I think. These are the comic book shop style conversations we're meant to be having. But, I mean, am I an authority? Am I, like, laying down the law saying that, oh, Miles, well, I'm trying to bait you into a useless internet argument. You know, Miles Morales. I couldn't care less. Most people that insist that Laura Kinney weapon, at X-23 is Wolverine, you bigots. They don't care how you think or how you feel. So how am I supposed to care about how you think and how you feel? Because it's not about listening to reason. It's about listening to your emotions, and it's about. I got this clever, wise-ass way about it, living through Star Wars and Star Trek, that the only reason why new fans get really uppity and their feelings hurt over simple stuff like that, especially getting along with older fans, you think we're trying to take away your toys and break them, because that's exactly what you did to us with your intractable, insufferable unlikabilities about this complete ownership. Laura Kinney can be Wolverine if she wants to be, sure, but but not because you insist on this, feigned equality and power sharing. This is postmodern bullshit. Actually, there's a female version of a Wolverine, and she has her own name. This is in biology. This is in real life. Female Wolverine animal. A female Wolverine is also it's called an Angeline, which is funny. Let's see. Angeline. Yeah, it's called an Angeline. Angeline, like a Wolverine. So the male, not the gender, not as assumed social conditioning. We're talking about, a male version of this mammal rodent with claws in the wild. The male version is called the Wolverine. The female version is called the Angeline. I think Angeline would be a killer code name for Laura Kinney. But it's more powerful for to have this identity struggle than it is to have a cool code name with a uniqueness and that fits with the pattern and that honors and that gives the character their own agency with their own code name. No, it's about taking power from from the established systematic problematic patriarchies. And no, that is why it happens. This is postmodernism. This is academics. These are college graduates, what they learn. And they're the only people that are hired in these writing roles and for these writing rooms. It's not about hiring superhero people. It's about hiring the correct people. That's just, that's the way it is. But I'm not going to go along with that. So when it comes to Miles Morales, I would love it if he was known as Hombre Araña. Yeah, I'm going to double these up. And this... Now, I was reading Ultimate Spider-Man, and basically in trade paperback formats from the first issues. Then we went back and got Marvel Team Up and floppies, too. Marvel Team Up preceded this. This was a new universe. Everything was young again and just updated with that modern sensibility. It's been done before, and it was pretty darn successful. He made Peter Parker, a 15-year-old high school student. And this was Pete Bendis, too. Bendis was hot, and he was really good once. He could still be really good again. I've read some of his recent stuff, like Murder, Inc., Matter Rose, was it? No thanks. But this is some Pete Bendis, and I just love the art in this. I mean, this is good Mark Bagley. I just think, I think Scott Hanna is the superior inker, though. I mean, everything looked a lot better. But look, when did this come out? Let's look at the indicia. I mean, these are all dollar bins. Yeah, it's June 2005. basically was like I shared a comic book collection with my roommate, a good friend of mine, and then the band broke up, and I had to move out. I moved out, and I had to leave behind what was mostly his. I had to leave behind a lot of some things that were mine, but he had. So we had like this like, kind of like married friendship collection too. It was probably 90% his and 10% mine. Maybe he was 93.7 or 95.5. Who knows? I'm not going to split hairs right now. I'm bald. But what I do know is I read every single issue of Ultimate Spider-Man all the way up until Ultimatum. And, oh, here it is. Here's 1 and 2. I told you we'd find it! Huzzah! Indeed, yeah. Like Harley Davidson motorcycles. When did this come out? So that came out in 2005. Oh, wow. This came out in 2012. Where's the indicia? Is there an indicia? There has to be an indicia clip. I don't see it. And remember, the movies are just starting to heat up. You had Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. I still haven't seen this. And this is a video game ad as well. This isn't just for the movie. I bought this on Blu-ray. I got all of them. I only just recently started watching the MCU Spider-Man movies. I got to see No Way Home with the Fellowship when it came out, and that was great. And so I went back and watched Homecoming and Far From Home, and I'm like, oh my gosh, these Tom Holland Spider-Man movies are really good. Now it's not on brand. It's been, it diverges from the source material. Yes, it does. It has since day one in 2008. It really has. Remember, Jarvis was a butler, a human. It wasn't Tony's AI. Tony kept his secret identity a secret for years. He didn't just come right out and say, I am Iron Man. I mean, but, there's that. I mean, MCU has been different since day one. So you have to allow it. It's stuff, So here he is. Here we are. Ultimate Spider-Man. In a world where Peter Parker was shot and killed, grade schooler Miles Morales is bitten by a stolen genetically altered spider that grants him incredible arachnic-like powers. He has chosen to dedicate his life to the legacy of Spider-Man. He is Ultimate Spider-Man. Grade schooler. He was a kid. And he looked great. This goofy kid trying to learn his power set. I think they made Miles a bit too old in the 616. I think kids deserve to be superheroes. It's not about child endangerment. These are fictional spaces where you can have that. I'm all for it. I was a Robin. Robin works better, in my humble opinion, as a youth, as a kid. Somewhere between 8 and 12. I mean, I think that's awesome. But yeah. Fump. Fump. Buddy of mine and I used to use that just when out. That's the sound a superhero would make when landing. Fump. So that's the sound of Peter landing on the hood of this van. Ain't it? But look, Farmers Insurance using the X-Men. I mean the Avengers. The Avengers in theaters, May 4th. Here we are. MCU Phase 1. Way back in the day. Not part of the MCU, but Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. I've never seen these movies. There's 2 of them. I should catch up on those. I heard they're decent. 2012, the advent of bisexual lighting. You talk about that a lot. I do. Max Payne, look, video game ads. And snack food. We don't know how to market comic books to readers anymore. Doop-a-doo. And look, so Peter's speech bubbles switch. from all uppercase. And he gets zapped and transported over to the Ultimate Universe. And look, his speech bubble is now in lowercase. Now Peter is in the Ultimate Universe. He goes to his house. And it's not his. Coming soon. AVX. Yeah. Events after events after events after events after events. That's great. It's really fun. Comics should be fun. And Spider-Man should be fun as well. Seriously, I am a lifelong Spider-Man fan. I've been reading Spider-Man and seeing Spider-Man cartoons since I was a small child. There was the 1967 Spider-Man TV cartoon. There was the Electric Company on PBS that had the live-action Spider-Man. You had to learn how to read to know what his dialogue was. Spider-Man was silent, like a mime, and everyone else in the episode spoke. But Spider-Man would have a voice balloon, and so a child would have to learn how to read in order to understand Spider-Man's dialogue in this show. Yeah, and this is Spider-Man. Yeah, and this is a 2012 crossover between the 616 universe and the Ultimate Universe. Yeah, and these are from 2005. So yeah, so when I moved into my new place, I started buying. I started buying my own Spider-Man to keep going. The show must go on. So 75 had to have been the first issue I got. And look. Breakfast cereals. And cartoon ads. Scooby-Doo. The Game Boy Advance. Oh, no. Yeah, the Game Boy Advance SP. But yeah, I mean, this is a Bendis story, and still, I guess it's not about the identity of who is writing it, whether or not it's good. So you have pages and pages and pages of people in hallways talking, people on rooftops talking. This is, for good or bad, this is the Bendis influence on comics. The hottest hand in comics. We've been. This is melodrama. This is soapy, and it's a serial, and it's this long form, just serialized, arc after arc after arc. But we have a younger Aunt May. You have a high schooler Peter Parker, and this is like in the Ultimate Universe is probably one of the most direct inspirations to the MCU. Have we seen a fight scene yet? And this is the 75th issue. This went for $2.25 in 2005. What would that be today? As we like to use the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics CPI inflation calculator rather. So this is doesn't say when on the cover. June of 2005. $2.25. Oh, don't need to put a dollar sign. Would be $3.54 today, or in July of 2023. Indeed, really. Close to that $3.99 standard cover price that we got going on today. But yeah, I mean, but look, yeah, dings. We got spine roll. We got corners. We've got, we have dollar bin worthy. We are dollar bin worthy. But, but here, I mean, see, come and see the digital onomatopoeia. It's been going on for 20 years. Digital lettering and digital onomatopoeia. And, I mean, so what are you bitching about, Sully? I mean, I just prefer the hand-drawn as part of the art onomatopoeia. And onomatopoeia is the sound effect in a comic book panel. Thwip, whack, pow, bop. Awesome. And I get to show my comics I love them by giving them a new bag, a new board, a new box. And that's great. I mean, show your comics you love them. I need supplies. You probably need supplies too. Hope you're getting your supplies at your local comic book shop. If you need a local comic book shop, there's not one around you for thousands of miles or so, that's fine. We can hook you up right here. Go to the description and look up. There's Yule Carter. And you can find his contact information in the description. That he's the owner of Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, California. He can be your LCS. Yeah, seriously, talk to him. That's your business between him. And I'm just advocating for spending money at your LCS, your local LCS, your local comic book shop. They're mom and pop brick and mortar shops, and they need our business, and we need them to help fuel our imaginations and make Wednesday a special day for yourself. Get your ass to your LCS. Not only take a chance on some new comic books, but get some supplies there too, and strike up some good old-fashioned comic book shop style conversation while you're there too. God bless, namaste, good luck. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to earn your subscription. I would. Thank you so very much for tuning in, and we will see you again in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.